Welcome back to the files. Pull up a chair, because today's case isn't just about money. It's not just about a forged signature or a stolen inheritance. It's about something far more dangerous. A family that decided, quietly, systematically, over decades, that one child's success was a resource, a well to draw from, a backup plan for everyone else's failures. Today's subject believed he was doing the right thing. He stepped up when nobody else would. He wrote the check. He made the call. He saved someone who, it turns out, was already sharpening the knife. The case file is thick, the evidence damning, and the ending? Let's just say entitlement has a very short shelf life when it runs into someone who finally decides to stop being the family's ATM. Let's dive in. My name doesn't matter. What matters is the role I was assigned at birth in my family's story. I was the responsible one, the boring one, according to my brother Marcus, the one who studied while he partied, the one who worked 2 jobs through college while my parents quietly co-signed his credit cards, the one who built a small but profitable logistics consulting firm from scratch over 12 years, while Marcus bounced between opportunities, his word for schemes that never quite landed. Marcus was the golden child. That's not bitterness. That's just the documented record. He was charming in the way that people who never face consequences tend to be, effortlessly likable at dinner parties. The kind of guy who could borrow money with a smile and make you feel like the gift was yours for giving it. My parents adored him. He was their story to tell at church. Our son, the entrepreneur. They glossed over the part where the entrepreneur's electricity kept getting shut off. His wife, Diane, was cut from the same cloth. Beautiful, socially savvy, and running a quiet but constant pressure campaign on Marcus to level up. Meaning, find more money. Meaning, find me. I kept my distance. I was polite at holidays. I showed up. I didn't discuss my finances because I'd learned early that in our family, information about my success was treated like a community resource. Then Marcus called me in March 2 years ago. He was crying. Real crying, not the performative kind. And against every instinct I'd developed over 37 years of being his brother, I picked up the phone, I listened, and I made the worst well-intentioned decision of my life. The situation, as Marcus explained it, was a disaster. He owed $61,000, a combination of a failed dropshipping venture, personal loans he'd taken out under Diane's encouragement, and 3 credit cards maxed to their limits. The creditors were circling. He and Diane were weeks away from losing their apartment, and Diane, he said this quietly, like it embarrassed him, had told him she would leave if things didn't change. He didn't ask me for the money, not directly. He said, "I don't know what I'm going to do." He said, "I just needed to tell someone." He cried again. I made the offer. I want to be clear about that. I made the offer, $61,000, wired directly to the creditors, not to Marcus, not to Diane, to the accounts. I drew up a simple repayment agreement, had it notarized, and considered it a high-risk loan to my brother because I loved him, and I still, foolishly, believed in the version of him that existed when we were kids. Marcus was grateful. Overwhelmingly, tearfully grateful. For about 4 months. That summer, our father passed away. Unexpected cardiac event, gone in 2 days. And grief does something strange to a family. It either bonds you, or it detonates whatever was already unstable. In our family, it detonated. Dad's estate wasn't enormous. A paid-off house worth approximately $340,000, some savings, and a portfolio of investments totaling around $190,000. Split equally between Marcus and me per the will. Except, that's not what the documents said when the estate attorney called me. According to the paperwork filed with the probate court, I had signed a declination of inheritance. A legal document stating I voluntarily waived my share in favor of Marcus. I had never seen that document in my life. I sat in my car outside the attorney's office, and I felt something cold and clarifying move through me. Not rage, not yet. something more useful. I called Marcus. He picked up on the first ring. He knew. "We needed it," he said. Just like that. Flat. Calm. "We needed it." "You forged my signature, Marcus." "It's family money. Dad would have wanted." "You forged my signature on a legal document." Then Diane got on the phone. I heard her grab it. And this is the part I want you to really hear, because this is what entitlement sounds like when it drops the mask. She said, and I am quoting directly because I recorded the call, which in my state is single-party consent. She said, "You have enough. You've always had enough. We did what we had to do. If you make this into a thing, you will destroy this family, and that will be on you." I told them both I'd be in touch through my attorney. Marcus called back 17 times that night. My mother called twice. She said I was punishing Marcus for struggling. She said Dad would be ashamed of me for involving lawyers over paperwork. I want to pause on that. Paperwork. A forged legal document was paperwork. I did not respond. I documented every call, every voicemail, every text, including one from Diane that said, and again this is verbatim, "You owe us this. After everything we've let slide." I still don't know what that means. I saved it anyway. I slept better than I had in months that night. Here's where the internet detective work begins. My attorney filed to contest the probate documents within the week. A forensic document examiner, a certified professional, the court engaged independently, confirmed within 3 weeks that the signature on the declination form was a forgery. The pen pressure, the letter spacing, the ink composition, all inconsistent with my genuine signature samples. Simultaneously, I filed a police report for fraud and forgery. This is the part most people in these situations skip because it feels nuclear. It is nuclear, that's the point. Marcus and Diane hired an attorney. Their defense was, extraordinarily, that I had verbally agreed to waive my inheritance during a phone call, and the signed document merely reflected that agreement. There was, of course, no recording of this supposed call, no witnesses, no texts. There was, however, my recording of Diane saying they did what they had to do. My attorney played it during the civil proceeding. I wasn't in the room, but she told me afterward that Marcus went pale and Diane asked for a recess. The estate was ultimately settled with my full inheritance restored. Legal fees, Marcus's and mine, came out of his share per the court's determination. He also received a formal letter from the district attorney's office. No charges were ultimately filed, in exchange for full cooperation and a signed confession of the document fraud. My attorney advised me that was a reasonable outcome given the civil recovery. I accepted it. The $61,000 repayment agreement remains active and enforceable. He's made 2 payments. My mother has not spoken to me in 8 months. She sent one email that said I had chosen money over blood. I replied once with a single sentence, "Marcus chose it first." I have not received a response. 2 updates before we close this file. Update 1. Marcus and Diane are still together. They're currently renting a smaller apartment. The house my father built, the one Marcus tried to take entirely, was sold as part of the estate settlement, and the proceeds split as the original will intended. I used my half to establish a scholarship in my father's name at the trade school he attended. I thought he'd have liked that. Update 2. I received a letter from Marcus 3 months ago. Not an apology exactly. More of a reckoning. He said he knew what he did was wrong. He said Diane had pushed him, and he hadn't had the spine to say no. He said he missed me. I haven't replied. I'm not sure I will. Some bridges aren't burned. They were just never built to hold the weight we put on them. Here's the question I'll leave with you today, because this channel doesn't tell you how to feel. We just lay out the files. Was I wrong to loan him the money in the first place? Maybe. Was I wrong to involve law enforcement over what my mother calls family business? You tell me. Or maybe the real question is this: at what point does keeping the peace become funding your own robbery? Drop your verdict in the comments. I read every single one. This has been The Files. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and never ever skip the notarization.